All right, let's get back to it. Grumpy Jr. has decided to allow me to continue on without him. And so we're still working our way through quest number 3 of HeroQuest. All right, Barbarian's up. Let's see some movement forward. Just enough to get to the door. And here we go. We got a bookcase and we've got a door. 2 gobos. Take a crack at painting some of this stuff this weekend. All right. Well, that's it. That's as far as he can move. So Dwarf is up next. Dwarf an 8 for movement. Dwarf's got 1 wound on him right now. I'm using the HeroQuest heart tokens to track damage right now. I don't know. I'm still messing around with how to do that stuff. I really didn't want to have to write it all down every time. And usually I just use dice. I might just go back to that. That's what I'm doing for now. So Dwarf's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to attack the Goblin. He's rolling 2 attack dice. Goblin has 1 defense die. Let's see what we got. A skull and a defense. Crafty Goblin. Successfully defends. Elf's up. 8. I'll move right there. Same thing, attack dice, got him.
The goblin has died.
Wizard gets a 3, I guess he can just barely sneak in there. Why not? Live a little, wizard. Get your staff. Got a hit. And he defends, of course.
My boss is strike. Defend yourself and roll your defend dice.
Elf defends. It's a lot of guys to kill 1 gobbo. I think the Barbarian's actually going to search for treasure in the room that he's in. Turn around to our fancy dancy. Card organizer here. Okay.
Barbarian searches the area for treasure.
You know, it's so funny with this game. You would think, oh, it's nostalgia. It's really not that great. You know, it's so old. People are just remembering fun times when they were a kid. And there's maybe a measure of truth to that. But it really also is just how streamlined and how kind of pure this is. It's kind of like going back and playing like Final Fantasy 1 on the NES or Dragon Quest compared to your current crop of Descent, Legends of the Dark, or Midara, which is more like, you know, Final Fantasy 14 or something like that. They're in the same genre, and there's no doubt that there are things about those newer games that are compelling, but there is still something about just like running through here and just killing shit and looking for stuff. Jewels. Barbarian found jewels, and I do not have to hold it up to the camera because I'll zoom in on it if I want to. Find a small wooden box, simple looking and very old. Within it, you discover that it's lined with velvet and contains very small jewels worth 50 gold coins. So they always tell you to record this on your sheet, and I do, but also you're not supposed to return these to the deck and until the next mission. And so it occurs to me that, you know, like, why don't they just like hold on to it basically like that, you know, and then at the end of the mission you can tally everything up. I did go back to the paper character sheets. I finally tore out some off of the book that comes with the new one. I just glued them together with like kids glue so that I don't have all this crap floating around. I just have two things. The marker wasn't really, that particular marker I think is just not great for what I was trying to do. 7, 4. Just gonna open this door. Throwing caution to the wind. Do you like these doors? He really should have kept caution. We've got 3 orcs and an A-bomb. Woo! Just when you thought it was getting too easy. That's a lot of orcs, but Barbarian is my tank, and only one of them is going to be able to attack, so. But he is going to stop there. He's had his fun. Dwarf's in a bit of a pickle. Kind of can't really do anything. I'm not even going to bother rolling. I'm just going to move him up 1. And that's going to be his whole turn. Elf will go ahead and attack the goblin that's right in front of him. Elf misses. Elf sucks. Wizard will go ahead and attack too. Wizard gets a hit and kills him. Goodbye, goblin. See, it's unfortunate. Zargon really isn't... I wish that there was almost like a difficulty setting or something, because why would Zargon move that orc up to attack the barb instead of the abomination who has more damage and more defense? I think he has more damage. I know he has more defense. Whatever. This really is just dice chucking, and it's like a great like beer and pretzels, just like, let's kill shit and not think about important life stuff. 2 hits, not bad. And no defense. Ooh. No defense off 4 die, that's brutal. The rest of them are stacking up. This Zargon app certainly has not diminished in value for me, given my use. I really do like it. Barbarian's up. Take a swing at orc. Okay, so he's dead. Goodbye, friend orc. Should I say she? So he only has 2 defense dice, so he can't defend 3 scrolls. Barbarian has it aside. Now see, there's really no decision. Moving in there would be suicidal, because then all 3 of them can attack him. And I can't do anything other than get maybe 1 attack off by the wizard. So Barbarian's just gonna wait there. Dwarf's gonna search for traps. Stay where he is. Elf will search for secret doors.
Elf searches for secret doors.
Wizard will pass his turn, and we'll let Zargon continue forward. Two more hits. Brutal. Two defense. Three defense. Blocked.
Hero's turn.
I suspect that this gets harder. Once Zargon starts using spells and like the Chaos Sorcerer is out and such, I imagine that this would definitely get more tricky. And it's not like if you were playing this with your friends when you were a kid, it was not like they were exactly genius tacticians anyways, probably. One hit. The Barbarian's attacking. Defended. I think the Barbarian's gonna move back to there. Dwarf's gonna stay where he is. Elf's gonna move to there. And Wizard's gonna move to there. Again, I'm skipping some steps here. There's no reason to roll the dice for one or two movement because I know I'm gonna get that, so. I need to represent these moves in the app. My goal is to destroy you, heroes. Love this guy. Baron blocks. They're protecting that abomination. Okay, Barbarian starts us out. An attack. One hit. No defense. I think that doesn't. Yeah.
The orc has been defeated.
See you later, sucker. Barbarian's gonna stay where he is. Really, for my cunning little trap to work, everybody kind of needs to stay where they are. See, it's just like, this wouldn't work if you were playing against a person because they could decide not to move in there and they could play the same game back at you. That's interesting. They're rolling pretty well, at the very least. One defend, so Barbarian takes another hit. The Abomination. Man, the Abomination has gotten some hate on Facebook, no question. I don't know. I actually don't think it's too bad. I think it's kind of a cool sculpt. People hate it because it makes no goddamn sense in a dungeon, but I don't know why any of this other stuff does. You know, it's not a water dungeon, is the argument I've been hearing. The sculpt's kind of cool looking. I don't have a problem with it. Barbarian is just swinging away at everybody. All right, 2 hits. No defense. Orc goes down. See, this is where in this app, I think there's a real incentive to build a tank or a guy who has armor and weapons because it's so easy to manipulate these guys in terms of their movement. How many attack dice does this get roll? 3. Yeah.
Sargon's turn. Try to defend yourself, you barbarian. Roll your defend dice.
Blocked.
Hero's turn.
He's dead. Well, he does get the defense. He's dead.
The abomination has been defeated.
Yes, he has. See you later, sucker. And now the barbarian's going to continue moving forward. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. 1, 2. Sure. You know, it's occurring to me that this might not be the most I'm not exactly taking risks here. This might not be the most scintillating content. Scintillating? Yeah. I don't know. What can I say? I'm that guy in Zombicide who always gets pissed at his friends for kicking the doors down. If it's not tactically called for, you know, like at the end of a round or something. Hey, let's kick this door down. No, what are you, insane? No, we're not splitting up. No, we're not doing this. I am being pretty cavalier about kicking these doors open now. Boom. Leading back into this room. The Orc Warlord Ulag unleashes a ferocious war cry through gnarled teeth and tusks. Oh boy, we found him. All right, so we've got 2 goblins. What is this, a chaos? A dread warrior. Sorry. 5 defend dice. All right. 5 defend dice is pretty significant. And a dread warrior too. No laughing matter. Orc Warlord. Another nice thing about the app, obviously you don't need, you know, a special sculpt to differentiate the Orc Warlord or keep track of him. Some of these doors are a little bendy. Try to repin those. Okay. Dwarf has taken 6 out of his 8 movement. Rushing in there would be psychotic. Not going to do that. I don't care how entertaining it would be. Could set up a similar trap to the one I just had going. I think I'll just leave him there for now. I want to get everybody at least into the adjacent room. So, the wizard, or the elf's going to take his turn. 6, 5, perhaps. Let's take a look at what spells elf still has. Veil of Mist, move through monsters, and then he's got his heal spell that restores up to 4 lost body points. Barbarian's got 3 lost body points right now. I would want to wait to cast that until I maximize its use. He's not in any danger of being one-shotted any time soon, I don't think. that'll be it for elf. Wizard's gonna search for treasure, because why not?
Wizard, such as
You find a potion of healing which restores up to 4 lost body points when consumed. Add this item to your character sheet. Oh, it must be in the bureau there. Okay, so there is an element of that, kind of like interacting with the environment. I wish that it was a little more thematic, but that's okay. Kind of like the door animation, that could just be an animation of him like rummaging through, or it just zooming in on the bookshelf. He's got 2 potions of healing on him now. It's awesome. And he finds 24 gold coins in the cupboard. Okay, great. Great job, Wizard. Wizard has some interesting options. Because he could pass through rock and then blast this orc warlord with genie. Try and one-shot him. 5 combat dice. But then he's trapped in there. Wizard will go ahead and move. Let's go line up there so he has line of sight to the door. I think, for now. Okay, well. Dread Warrior's like, I'm interested in getting me some. Barbarian can't do anything. I'll move. I'll search for
barbarian, such as the area for traps.
Dwarf will attack the goblin that's right in front of him. Misses. And then he'll just step back 1.
Elf searches for secret doors.
Now, if I have the AI of this kind of guessed, what'll happen is the goblin will move in and attack the barbarian because he's the first player, which again, probably not optimal, but okay, thank you.
Sargon's turn.
Yeah,
Barbarian.
it's a little predictable. One hit. Defended. It's kind of funny, I'm not really clear on why Ulag decided to move there, but
Without mentor.
shit, yeah. Punk ass. Little punks are on the edge of death. Okay, so he's done. Barbarian gets 1 kill. Dwarf will move forward. I don't know why I just rolled that. Attack that goblin. It's 1 hit. No defense. He's dead.
The goblin has been defeated. The goblin has been defeated.
All that's left is the two biggest baddies. Dread Knight, pretty cool miniature. Probably worthy of a wash. Not that I would spend my whole life painting it, but. And let's see, elf. I'm just gonna, See, it's so predictable. I could move that elf into that room, and I don't think that he would get attacked. I think these guys would go for the dwarf because he's next in the order there. Let's put it to the test. Oh boy, that's really dangerous. Let's live a little. Elf's gonna move. I'll move there. And he'll attack the Dread Warrior. Gets a hit. Dread Warrior has 4 defense dice. Blocks it quite easily. Now the wizard's up. I'm not totally crazy. The Dread Warrior will probably, I was going to say, he probably will attack the elf because he's sitting right there. Whew, 3 hits. 2 defense. Takes 1 damage. Logs rolling 4.
Roll your dead dice.
No defense.
Hero's turn.
Oh, this is tricky. Barbarian can't get a hit off. Dwarf's going to start off by attacking Ulog. Gets 1 hit. Ulog has 5 defense. Does not defend 5 skulls. Oh, good God. Dwarf. I think we'll move. Well. Yeah, I think Dwarf will move there. Elf's actually in some trouble now. Elf did a little, he did his little experiment, and now he's in this room. But he does have Veil of Mist. This spell may be cast on any one hero, including yourself. On the hero's next turn, they may move unseen through spaces that are occupied by monsters. Let's do it. 5, just like barely enough. That was a fun little jaunt in there. Oh, okay, cool. And see the app. You got to do it in the app. Did I move that? I meant to move the dwarf, apparently. Which means I'll move the elf. Or there, actually. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Wizard's gonna cast Genie. He's gonna bust out the big gun. This spell conjures a genie who does one of the following: opens any door on the board. Why in God's name would you ever do that? Or roll 5 combat dice, which is vicious. So he's gonna cast Genie. I'm assuming you don't need to do that in the app, but let's see what happens. Two hits. Oh, that could have been more impressive. No defense. It's a lot of damage to go through. With that, the once mighty Warlord lets out a final roar before collapsing onto the stone floor. And that's an unnecessary comment there.
You must find your way to the spiral stairway to reach safety and continue on your quests.
Okay. Wizard gonna do anything else? Might move. Which movement do these guys have? 7. 8. See, again, this is where you could never do this against a human opponent. Got you.
Sargon's turn. Defend yourself, barbarian. Roll your defend dice.
Defended.
Paralyze each step.
3 hits. Ooh. Maybe not quite so much peril.
The Dread Warrior has died.
Dread Warrior has died. Barbarian's gonna move. 10. Treasure. He'll stop there. Dwarf's up next. 2. Okay. So, we may not need to necessarily take the whole crew in there. Although if it's trapped, I will need the dwarf, so I will move him forward, barely. I think the elf will just stay where he is and search for treasure, if he can.
Elf searches the area for treasure.
Suddenly, the stone beneath your feet gives way. You fall into a shallow hole, losing 1 body point and ending your turn. You may climb out and move normally on your next turn. Return this card to the bottom of the deck. Elf takes a damage from a hazard. The children are loose. Hi, sweetie. I'm gonna use one of these to represent this. Shh. Hey, guys. Wizard's gonna take his turn. I'll just move right there. And then search for traps. What well-behaved children. Good job, guys. Bye, I'll see you in a minute. Be warned, the floor seems weak. Ooh. Very tricky. It's back around the barbarian's turn, but that would seem to indicate that the chest itself is not trapped. So we'll move up and open that.
Barbarian searches the area for treasure. Draw a treasure card. Type treasure on your character sheet.
That's odd. Shouldn't have opened the chest. You're surprised to find a leather bag hanging on the wall. If you drink its contents before you attack, you can make 2 attacks instead of 1. This may only be used once. Do not return it to the deck. 2 attacks instead of once. Everyone remembers the incredible power of the heroic brew. Dwarf's up, I guess he'll start making his way out. Elf. He's gonna search for treasure. Just keep pushing my luck. Worked out really well so far. Hazard. While you are searching, a hidden arrow shoots from the wall and strikes you. You lose 1 body point and your turn is over. Oh. Turn it to the deck. You know what? I'm not going to film the rest of this. I think I'm going to leave that other room alone, and we're going to assume that I made it back to the stairwell. What I would love to see Hasbro do is to put out advanced HeroQuest or an advanced set. Having defeated Ulag and made your exit from his lair, you have succeeded in your quest. Prince Magnus rewards you for bringing swift justice upon the Warlord. You receive 180 gold coins to be divided equally among the surviving heroes. Yay. And that's it for quest number 3. So far, by far the most challenging quest has been the original, the very first quest. But we'll see where it goes from here. Who knows? Hope you enjoyed that. Everybody made it back safe and sound. We'll go ahead and call it there. We'll be back soon with Quest 4, Prince Magnus's Gold. Maybe I'll try and get some friends over and get some drinking going or something. Maybe that'll spice things up a little bit. But until then, have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.